Hello and a very warm welcome to the show. I'm Salia Strzemska. Today we're going to discuss a truly delicious topic. We're going to be talking about food. A Michelin star is one of the most prestigious culinary honors, awarded to restaurants that stand out for the food, service and ambience. Currently, only 7 restaurants in Poland hold this coveted distinction, with 3 of them located in Warsaw. To help us understand the significance of a Michelin star and what it really takes to earn one, I am joined by Andrea Camastra, chef proprietor of NUTA restaurant. Hello and welcome, Andrea. Great to have you with us tonight.
Hi, thanks for having me. A pleasure.
So you've managed to keep your Michelin star.
Yeah.
How happy are you? What did it take you to earn one and then, of course, to keep it?
You know, it's always nice because you just wait the whole year for 12 months and then all of a sudden you find out if you made it or not. And it's always a pleasure. I'm generally happier for my my staff, my people working with me, since it's been a very, 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 very long time into that. So, but it's always, you know, who doesn't like it? Yeah, it's a lot of work, hard work.
Absolutely, congratulations.
Thank you.
So do tell us your story. What brought you to Poland? Because you've been here for a while, right?
That'll be the best part. I think 14 years this year. It's a long time. Yeah. It was supposed to be an holiday. Then I don't know. I had to stay for a week, I think. Then I just prolonged for a month, and I felt comfortable straight away. I come from a very small village in south of Italy where the climate is extremely tropical. The weather is furiously hot, and I was watching snow, all these things, just in the television. So when I landed here, actually was in November. It was extremely cold. We're talking about 14 years ago. I don't know, I just liked it. I dropped everything in England, moved over here, and then love came into play.
Wow. Okay.
Just like about every foreigner here, and here I am 14 years later. Very, very happy to be here.
So what about Polish food? Did you also fall in love with Polish food?
I did, and then I felt the need of studying a little bit this cuisine. And I found out that in the 16th and 17th centuries, there were only 2 cuisines ruling Europe. That was French and Polish cuisine. Okay. Strange enough. So that's why I felt familiar straight away, because I have some French side of me, so I know French cuisine very well. And the north of Italy, it's not exactly the same, but it's not far away from Polish cuisine, which I really like. So I decided to do a little twist.
Right. So what is the overlap between the French and Polish cuisine? Is it, you know, about, like, I don't know, meat or, you know, using butter, a lot of butter, I guess, in both?
That's for sure. That's one of them. Meat and perhaps there is in French cuisine something called choucroute, which is basically a decomposed bigos, perhaps.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
So, you know, here you cook it the whole thing together. In France, the meat is boiled, the cabbage and the sour cabbage is cooked separate, and then it's put in a big plate together. Pashtet, pâtés, we don't do pâtés in Italy, but in France it's really common. So there's a lot of those similarities, and I was studying through those historical books. So probably this is one of the reasons why I felt really comfortable in here, and I loved the cuisine straight away. I love salty and fermented things very much, which is very uncharacteristic from the south of Italy.
Oh, that's quite interesting. But also I would say that perhaps cuisine in France is a little bit more formal. And I'm also thinking about education. They have these schools like Le Cordon Bleu or some other places, right? Whereas in Poland, you don't really have such well-known culinary schools. What about your background? Where did you get your education? And do you perceive yourself more as a chef or perhaps a chemist?
A bit of both, let's say. I went to the Culinary Institute, and then I left. I've attended the Cordon Bleu for 4 months as well, because one of my uncle was a vice president of it. And then I got into the scientific studies at the early age of 21 years old. And since then, I started to discover a totally different world. Not necessarily to put magic on the plate, but to understand processes behind the cooking. And it's something that I use today very differently than what I was using 20 years ago. Because, you know, when you're young, you want to show that you have a full scale of all sorts of skills. And sometimes we make mistakes because food needs to be edible, delicious. So now I'm a bit drawn back from this. I mean, we are still very, very, very fancy, make no mistake about that. but we use science knowledge in a different way. I was actually part and a co-author of 3 of probably the most important books in molecular and physical gastronomy. And I was very often doing seminaries in Paris University, where molecular gastronomy was actually invented under Professor Hervé. So I'm one of his world ambassador. And since then.
Okay, so molecular gastronomy versus molecular cuisine. Can you explain?
There we go. Yes. Nice question. So simple. Molecular gastronomy is for scientists that they do study processes behind, they understand the studies, but they are not chefs. Molecular cuisine are the chefs that applies those methods without necessarily know what's going on behind or how this works scientifically. That's the only difference.
Okay.
Very, very, very misunderstood terminology the whole time.
Right,
but
let's sort of zoom in on sort of the issue of taste, because I mean, if you have these precise recipes, you can perhaps, I mean, can you predict how a person will sort of receive the food?
Yeah, it happens often that some people, they come and they say, look, I don't like onions, perhaps. Yeah, but probably you never tried into a different way. And we actually managed to make people like things that they actually don't like.
Okay.
So this happens very often. Very often we see, I'm going on the table and say, look, just give us a chance. No, give me half a chance, please. So we want to it happens very, very often. And this comes out of the understanding how to purify compounds. It's nothing to do with chemical food or something like that. It's just an understanding how to extract those compounds in their best form, so that everybody will like it.
Right, and do you see a difference in how perhaps critics perceive food and sort of between critics and ordinary customers?
Very much so, very much so.
Okay.
Because critics, inspectors, maybe they don't like one ingredient, but they will judge you pretty much technically. You need to be for them. Obviously, you'll have to have skills, you have to be seasonal and so on, but they will actually judge you on how technically precise you are. While guests, sometimes they will be happy if it is delicious. They don't necessarily look at how technically, what it takes actually to execute that technically. Some of the critical inspectors, they know exactly how it takes to arrive to that time. So, okay, whoa, that's a big technical skill. Whether I like, for example, beetroot or not, undeniably, it's perfectly done. So that's a big difference. And making menus, that's a good question as well. I find making menus extremely difficult because I'm trying to get in the middle to try to make happy everyone. Normal guests, let's say, which is generally the most important, because critics comes once a year. Guests, you want them every day. But as well, to take it to that technical level, the inspector will say, okay, right, they are capable.
But I mean, the critics are the people who award things such as Michelin stars, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, how does this process look like?
Anonymous. You will never know them. They will never talk to you. They will never say that they're inspectors. They enter sometimes, after almost 25 years in the Michelin restaurants. Maybe you have an eye to recognition. Somebody, you can be right, you can be wrong. But everything is a secret operation. You will never know. You just wait for that day that, the results are out. Everything is anonymous, because in their mind, and I do understand and agree with that, because in their mind, you should be able to provide the same quality, the same service to everybody. So this thing of being like a secret services thing has some logic behind it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you never know where they're going to come in, and it could happen at any time during the year.
Anytime.
And so they're going to double check if the quality is consistent, or perhaps if you've improved, or
yes.
They can also take away a star.
Correct. Oh yeah. I mean, it happens rarely, likely, because that's a big shutdown for every chef, mentally, and for the business as well. They can make it. They can make you and break you quickly. But to lose a star, you have to do something really atrocious. It's not that easy.
Well, but things happen, right?
Of course,
it could just be a mistake.
Course. Fingers crossed, it's not going to happen to us.
So you have to be at the top of your game every day.
Every day.
Because you never know. Oh well, this must be super stressful.
Normally, yes. Likely, I don't have those symptoms. I don't know what stress and panic is. I try to keep very composed daily because we give our very best 100% daily. So our conscience is clean, let's say. So I don't suffer by stress and panic. No.
Right, Andrea, you're in charge, of course, but there's a bunch of people behind the scenes.
Amazing team.
Yeah, right. I wanted to ask you about teamwork. How important is it? I mean, are you as scary as Gordon Ramsay behind the scenes? Or?
Here we go. I had a reputation like it, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Let's say that, okay, let's put it that way. When you really care about something and you're really there, I'm not gonna say suffering, but committed and dedicated daily for a long time. I started this job at the age of 10 years old, and I'm 45, so it's 35 years now. When you are so devoted to it and things they go wrong, or somebody does something that they're not supposed to for distraction or for whatever, you can take it personally, let's say, at times. So there were times where you had to be a little tougher. But generally now, for example, in the past 4 or 5 years, I've got a bunch of kids in the kitchen. I call them kids because they're my kids. And it's like a little family. Everyone knows what to do. It's an amazing team. They're extremely skillful. Some of them, they are with me from almost 10 years. So it's been a long time. We went through everything together because that's my second restaurant. So we went through everything together. So God bless them, really. Angels. I love them dearly.
But there's also this element of education to it, right?
Definitely. Everybody knows where the line stands.
And I was wondering, what are your plans for the future? Are you thinking about a different place, or perhaps you're trying to, you're going to try and earn the second star, because I know it's quite important, right? Or perhaps a different type of cuisine. What are you thinking about?
Right. NUTA's target is to take them all, so 3 stars. So we're going to work daily, yearly to make this happen. We are sure we eventually will, because we have all the technical skills, capabilities. But future plans, well, what a better place to expose it, right?
Right, not to jinx it, of course.
Yeah, I know, but we are planning of opening a restaurant next year, and it will be like it's been many years. People ask, when are you going to open traditional Italian restaurant? Italian chef doing Polish fusion cuisine, Italian with Michelin star. They always want to know when you're going to open your own place, like your own cuisine place. And probably we are planning of doing something like it next year. It will be traditional, but very polished around the edges. So there will be some high technology, you can say, used to produce some of this food, but it will look pretty normal and osteria style, trattoria style. So.
Okay. Well,
yes, that's the very first time I'm just going to tell you that it's going to be fun. It's going to be accessible for everyone. So you can have just one dish if you want to, 2, 3. You can just choose from the normal menu.
That sounds exciting.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. Accessible to everyone. A family restaurant where you're going to have a little bit of finesse into.
Perfect. So I hope everything will go well, and I will be able to visit. And let me just ask you this to wrap up. I mean, at home, behind the scenes. I mean, do you cook, and what is your favorite dish?
I don't actually, rarely. I'm a person that I will be happy with a very nice piece of bread and a little bit of cheese and a glass of wine. Those are my favorite ingredients. But
you still eat well, right? I mean.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I say a piece of bread and a piece of cheese, at the level, absolutely. No, I always eat it well. I'm allergic to bad food.
Andrea Camastra, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Have a good day.
And thank you for watching Pulse of Culture. Please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.